What's up, guys? It's Mikey here, and today we're going to be doing a deep dive on the song Hypnotized by Aura featuring Patrick Ryan. I had a really good time working on this song with these guys. Actually, had a great time working on the whole EP with these guys, and I figured since it's out and everybody who's going to hear it has probably already heard it, figured why not do a production dive on it and show you guys what the inside of the session looks like. So without wasting any more of your time, let's jump right in. Alright, so first off, the band came to me with this song. It was pretty much already fully fleshed out in demo mode. Basically, I didn't have to do much in terms of writing. I just helped out a little more with some structuring and some riffage here and there. Other than that, there wasn't really a whole lot altered aside from the demo version. So jumping into it, I guess we'll go ahead and start with the production elements. Zach sent me elements that sounded like this. It's kind of got that real saturated 808 feel, which is pretty common in hip hop these days, for the 808s to be really have that nice distorted sound to them. So this little acoustic element here that Zach had tracked, I added this little vibe bass part underneath. I'll go ahead and just play the acoustics, and then I'll show you kind of how I leveled it up. I added the tremolo. Zach originally had this part written. Thought that was pretty sick. Now I felt that was a little dry. I love the part, but I felt like it needed something to kind of push the song a little bit. So I added this bass underneath it. So all of those together. And all of that in context.
It's the fear in your eyes that tells me that I'm right. You're burning out, but your future is not so bright.
Definitely a cool part. Very cool elements in here. Love the part. And oh yeah, I forgot we also added some clean guitars here. Let's go ahead and play this. Just nice, crunchy, clean guitars there. Just kind of mirroring the acoustic guitar, but tucked way in the background, just to give it a little bit more of that atmospheric feel with the reverb and whatnot. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we did for production here. I just added some impacts and swells, just all that, the fancy schmancies, explosions and stuff like that to kind of help the impacts, just stuff like this. Nothing too crazy, but in the context of a mix.
Hey you, let me tell you what it do.
Kind of just helps smash everything, if you will. Get to smashing. We just smashing. Everybody's smashing. Anyways, moving on. So we're going to check out the guitars. So for the guitars, today we are using the Fortin Archetype Nolly. For the amp sims, I think this is a really sick guitar plugin. I use it on a lot of mixes. I mean, a lot of the stuff I do for my own band, I run through that as my primary source. Basically just a little bit of EQ on the bus here. Tiny bit of R comp, does a really good job just balancing and taming the dynamics of the guitars. Into the C4 multi-band processor, gives a little bit more, in my opinion, makes it sound a little more glued to the mix. Into, believe it or not, the mag EQ is awesome, specifically for the air gain. The air gain gives that crunch, that top end crunch that helped the guitars cut through the mix, in this mix in particular. Tiny bit more selective EQ here, and then finishing it off with another mag EQ on the 40K band. Not sure why I did that, not sure why I ran two mags, but that's just what we ended up doing. And I thought it sounded pretty good. So all of that together, we have guitars sounding a bit something like this.
Get that shit confused. You better call a truce, cause I know that gang shit's a proof. So hey you, let me tell you what he do when he come into my crew. When we
I don't know, it's just real grungy. Like we didn't want to go for like the most super processed tone ever. We wanted to just really give it that like gritty, grainy sound to fit this mix. Jumping into some of the layers. So we did this atmospheric lead here. This is a touch that I thought the song needed. I remember we were working in the studio and I was like, man, this part just needs something. I feel like it needs some kind of ambience here. And the guys told me to just go for it and shoot and try it out. And that's what I did. So this is what we ended up landing on all together. Pretty interesting. Additional production elements here. Felt like this part needed like a dub swell, something that kind of keeps that, like I feel like the whole part is just this rising tension, and the tension needs to be released before jumping into the heavier part where everything goes back into the halftime here. So I'll go ahead and play this this sound isolated. I think I used Serum. Yeah, I used Serum. I just used 8-bit FWAP preset. I tweaked a couple things here just to add a little bit more grittiness and grain here and there. Followed by the J37, oh no, JST clip, I'm sorry. And then just a little bit of EQ dynamic on the low band there. Really wanted it to just hit the subs, you know, pretty hard. But I'll go ahead and play it for you. Just one quick swell. I did a hard cut on everything else, so everything in context sounded a bit like this. Just kind of adds this cool transition element there. Moving on to Patrick Ryan.
It's the fear in your eyes that tells me that I'm right. You're burning out, but your future is not so bright. You can run, you can hide, but you'll all be crucified. The secret's out, we won't let you in. You're hypnotized.
Dude's an absolute animal. Love you, Patty. You're the man. Moving on to Nishan's vocals, who is also an absolute legend. This dude's vocals are crazy.
Hey you, let me tell you what he do when he come into my crew, when we pulling up on you. Know these bitches ain't gon' shoot, don't get that shit confused. You better call a truce, cause I know that gang shit's a proof. So hey you, let me tell you what he do when he come into my crew, when we pulling up on you. Know these bitches ain't gon' shoot, don't get that shit confused.
We are going to move into the ad-libs. So the ad-libs for this song were actually hilarious. I remember he came in to a session one day just to do ad-libs. Basically, he was like, oh, you know, I need to take the song home and figure out, you know, what kind of ad-libs I want to do for this. And I was like, all right, man, you know, sure, why not? So he comes back in the next studio session and was just ready to go. And so I put him on the mic and he just starts going off. And this is what we come up with.
Nah, what? 804? Man, what? 804, 804, 804, 804, 804, what?
Just going off. It's so good.
What?
If I'm gonna give a Hype Man of the Year award to anybody, it's going to Nishan. Nishan, you got a Hype Man of the Year award. Congrats. Hilarious. So anyways, definitely just adds a lot of energy to the song overall. And that is a wrap for this song, because there's really not much else we can jump into. And I appreciate you guys sticking around for the video. If you guys like more content like this, please make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you like the video, share it with your friends. I appreciate it. Definitely goes a long way. And thank you guys so much for checking it out. And until next time, I'll see you later.